Not everybody has the ability to focus on the game for 10 hours a day, but throwing it up on a second monitor and AFKing while you get some work done is a great way to make some passive GP or gain some XP. And with that in mind, welcome to AFKing 9 to 5. Fellas, welcome back to some more AFK content. In today's episode, I want to try out an AFK Hunter method. Hunter has always been one of those weird skills where it kind of has like a direct path that most people follow. You kind of start the skill, train up a little bit, maybe you start doing your birdhouse runs early, you get to Chinchampas, and then you kind of do a little bit of Chinchampas, a little bit of birdhouse runs, and then after a few years, you're magically 99 Hunter. But there is one method that I've heard a lot about that I've never personally tried myself, that kind of throws a small wrench into how some people do Hunter. It is a very low effort activity, and I've heard you can get upwards of like 120k XP per hour. So today we reject modernity and return to monkey. So let's talk maniacal monkeys. First, let's start off with the most obvious question. What are the requirements to do this? There is only one real requirement, but it technically has requirements within itself. The requirement is the completion of Monkey Madness 2. This obviously has a whole host of requirements and skills and quests, but if you can check off everything on this list and complete the quest, you are more than capable of doing this activity. On top of that, the only item needed is the Kruk Monkey Gree, and maybe you did Monkey Madness a long time ago, maybe you threw the Gree away. The good thing now is that you don't have to run through the monkey tunnel, you just have to go and pick up a new one from Zooknock. He can be found just chilling west of the Grand Tree. You just go up there and ask him for a monkey talisman, and then when he asks you for a specific one, pick the large ninja. This doesn't require any additional items or anything, you just have to go up there and pick one up. Gear and inventory wise, you kind of have two setups, but let me just quickly talk about the gear. The only real recommended item for this is using a Ring of Dueling. You could substitute this for a construction cape or a house tab even. This is just used to get to the PvP arena so you can use the glider, and as well as teleporting to Castle War so you have somewhere to bank in between. If you're doing the first method, which I'll show you here now, you don't really need this at all. You could just get to any glider and then you're good to be set up for the entire day. The first method involves using bones to bananas. Spread out across the room here are tons of bones so you can fill your inventory up. And to catch these, all you need to do is place a banana under the trap. So with this method, you'll never need to bank, but it is slightly less AFK because it involves you kind of managing your inventory and seeing how many bananas you need, how many bones you can pick up, and kind of always being aware that you need to replenish those. And just a side note for this one, it is recommended to use tabs here. If you wanted to cast the Bones to Banana spell, you would have to go pick up all your bones and then leave the room. Once you're outside, cast a spell and then head back in. But with the tab, you can still do it while you're in Kruk mode. It is technically more XP because you cut out all the time that's required to go to the bank. So if you are paying a little bit more attention today, this is the one I would recommend. But for me, I am lazy and I want to pay as little as attention as possible. So I'll be bringing baskets of bananas. This basically does the exact same thing, except now once I run out of bananas, I need to go to the bank to pick up more. The way I did it is I just filled my entire inventory because once we get there and I put on the Gree, that will give me a spot to pull a banana out. The first couple are kind of annoying because you have to obviously drop the tail and then withdraw another banana almost every time. But once you get about halfway through your inventory, you can start just clearing out full baskets and it's very, very chill. Gear-wise, I just wore Graceful. I don't think there's really anything here that will add to what you're doing. Graceful is just kind of nice to restore some of that run energy, but honestly, you don't really need it. I do want to put like a disclaimer in here because I've heard it's been talked about, but it's not in the game yet. There is some talk about Hunter outfits giving you bonus XP or making your success rate go up. If that is currently in the game right now when you're watching this video, you should definitely wear a Hunter outfit for the bonus XP or the more success rate. So yeah, that's not in the game right now, but it could be in the future. So if it is, look out for that. And now that we're geared up and ready to go, let's talk about getting there. Getting there is very straightforward. The best method that I found was just to teleport to the PvP arena with the Ring of Dueling. You can do this either by equipping it or using the jewelry box in your POH. Once you're there, run a little bit to the west and take the glider. Once the little menu pops up, click on the little monkey head. And now that you're here, run a little bit south, open the trap door and head into Kruk's dungeon. In here, you'll want to head directly north and equip the Kruk Gree. This set of monkey bars is kind of weird. You can only go over it when you have the Gree equipped. I guess it's their version of a security system. But once you're across, you again go directly north into the northern crevice, and now you're in the monkey chamber. I don't know if that's the real name, that's just what I'm calling it. And now you can start catching monkeys. To do this, you'll need to climb onto a stunted demonic gorilla while you have your Kruk Grigri equipped. And then all you'll need to do is click on a boulder and it will put a banana under there for you. Now we get to sit around and wait till one of the monkeys is caught, and then repeat the process for hours on end. And that's pretty much all there is to this method. For the method that I'm doing, once I run out of bananas, I'll need to bank. So I'll be going to Castle Wars with the Ring of Dueling, picking up more baskets, and then making my way back and doing it all over again. I'll give you all the numbers once I've obviously done the day. But I think all that's left to do is to catch monkeys for 8 hours. I'm excited to see how much XP I'm gonna get. Okay, not a bad little AFK activity. This one is definitely doable for a lot of people, but there is a pretty good chance it's not doable for everybody. On a chill day where you're just watching movies or anything, this is fantastic and I would really recommend it. But on a work day, it can involve some pretty frequent clicking sometimes. When I make these videos, I always record my first hour so I can track the AFK times. So I went back through the footage and I cut up every time that there was a click, and I entered the first 50 in so that I can see what the average AFK time was. And it comes out to be about 32 seconds per click. The good thing for this is that there's not a lot of thought that goes into your click. You just see the box light up and you click the box. That's it. You don't have to think about where you're clicking, what you're clicking on, what's going on. Just click the funny green box. XP wise, it was fantastic. The wiki has some estimates on what your XP rate should be, and at 99 Hunter it said I should get about 120k, but with the downtime and not really paying full attention, I ended up getting 106k per hour, which led to an incredible 848k for the day. This is actually really good. Just for reference, something like Chinchompas that I talked about in the beginning is about 148k an hour. So if I had paid attention and used the bonus to bananas tabs, I would only be getting about 28k less XP per hour. And this is way less click intensive and way less thought inducing. But I don't want to get you too excited about it because the XP does scale here pretty hard. If you were to jump in right at your starting point, which would be 60 Hunter, you only have a 41% chance of a successful catch, whereas the XP that I got at 99 has an 89% chance. This is a huge disparity, and it will really throw off the XP overall. There is kind of a way to roughly check how much XP you should get at your current level, so I'm gonna just put up a few ranges on the screen so you can kind of see. This can't be exactly accurate, but it will be a very good ballpark of where you should be at your current Hunter level. And the only other thing we really need to calculate for this one is how much I actually spent. Because when most people do Hunter, they probably associate it with making money. This might seem a little bit weird, but I did have to buy my baskets of bananas before I started the day. So I bought 400 just to be safe, but in my 8 hours, I used 191 baskets. It was actually 190 and a half, but I'm just gonna round up here. At the current price, this is only about 150k, so your whole day of Hunter XP can be paid off with one Vorkath kill. Or even just an hour of cutting a yew tree, a magic tree, anything you want really. 150k for the day is not bad considering how much XP I gained. If I do a low ballpark for someone with around 60 Hunter, you're still going to be getting 400,000 XP for 150k, so I can definitely see this one having some uses. If you want an honest recommendation for this one, I think if you're looking for something AFK to train Hunter, even at 60 it's fine, but if you really want to see the effects of it, I would probably start doing this around level 75 to 80 and continue to do your birdhouse runs in between. This one is pretty good. Even without paying attention and being AFK for a little bit longer than I could have been, I still got a good amount of XP, and I think you would still get a good amount of XP even at level 60 Hunter. This one would get the seal of approval if you're able to glance over at your second monitor and make a click every 30 to 45 seconds. But if you can't, I would probably not recommend to do it, at least on a work day. But if you're looking for something chill on a weekend while you're watching a movie or you just have some downtime, this is a pretty good one, especially for Hunter. And that's AFKing 9 to 5 Maniacal Monkeys. Thank you so much to the big fellas Snacks, DansSmeg'ead, and LokiFM, as well as the fellas Jujo, iTalk, Halal Platter, Skye, and Otomachi. I appreciate you guys for your continued support. In the next episode of AFKing 9 to 5, I want to try another PVM one. I know it's very popular, so there's going to be a lot of competition when I do it, but it's one that's been asked for quite a bit, and it's probably going to involve some math at the end of the video, so we can look forward to that. But I appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the fun stuff you can do on youtube.com. But other than that, I've got nothing left to say, so I'll see you in the next one.